I made some Roblox OCs, but not on Catalog Avatar Creator, like you'd expect. No, I was on Roblox and I ended up playing Roblox Make an NPC, or NPC Maker, or something. One of those. It's on the screen. But anyways, those OCs low-key got me inspired, so I ended up turning them into like actual drawn-out OCs instead of just like silly little Roblox avatars. And I tried to cook them some lore, and I also drew them in a little bit more of a cartoony, early 2000s cartoonish kind of style for a change, because I think they'd fit that style considering the Roblox OCs, and I think maybe for the lore I made for them, they'd probably be like a little cartoon. And I miss doing that style because it's fun. So I hope you enjoy. So the first OC I designed is Mindy, who is an alien who just really loves humans. And I actually don't even know where she learned what human high school girls are like. Maybe she like picked up a shoujo manga one day or read a fun little book, but one day she was like, whoa, these guys are so awesome, I need to go down there. So she did. She snuck down from her ship, and she's like, well, we live for a really long time, so honestly, if I leave for a year, they probably won't notice, because the oldest aliens in her species are probably like 1,000,000 gajillion years old. So if she comes back, they'll be like, oh, didn't notice you left. Damn, can you like come help out with the ship again? So she went off on her fun little adventure to become a real totally normal high school girl. She put on a cute uniform, she wore lots of pink, she found a stupid $2 store wig with lots of colors, and she turned into a real high school girl. Hi guys, my name's Mindy. Now, there was a problem. She's still green. She didn't even bother with human disguise. She's like, I'm just gonna put on the clothes and the wig and it'll totally pass. But she's very clearly green, alien, and also that uniform is like totally incorrect for the school she decided to sneak into. So, you know, at start, it was like, this is kind of weird. Who the hell is this girl? And she's green, and they're like, you're like an alien or something? She's like, no, I'm like a normal high school girl. She's fooling no one, but here's the thing with Mindy. She's kind of quiet, and she can come off as awkward to a lot of people, or like a little bit uncanny, or have the stilted way of speaking. But she's really kind-hearted, and she's actually really quite sweet. And she'd save a cat from a tree, or save someone from bullies, even if it made her the next target, because she's just so wholesome like that. And you know what? That did happen a lot because, well, alien girl trying to be a normal high school girl. But the thing is, she is impossible to rage bait. If somebody tried like flushing her homework or writing really mean messages to her on her logger, she'd just stare and go, wow, this is like what I read. This is like the real high school girl experience. This is so awesome. Like, girl, okay. Completely impossible to rage bait, but she's just got such a spice and spark to life. It's kind of sweet and cute. Like, oh, wait, that's actually really quite wholesome. So she takes it all in stride, and like at some point she's there for long enough that nobody really cares anymore. Like, I mean, she gets the schoolwork done, she's nice to everyone, and she's impossible to rage bait. It just gets to a point where just walking down the halls, toast in her mouth, running to school like an anime girl or something, I don't know, and they go, oh, hi Mindy, and she's like, hi guys, and they move on with their day. Like, at that point, she's just a part of the ecosystem. It gets to a point where by the time she's going to have to leave, it's probably going to be a moment like, guys, I have to tell you something. And because I care about you. I was actually an alien in disguise this whole time, and I have to go home. I'm so sorry. I'll really miss you guys. And they all go, oh yeah, dang, what a surprise. Wow. We'll miss you too, Mindy. And then she ascends to the heavens. But yeah, that's Mindy. She's sweet, impossible to rage bait, and just has such a joy for the small things in life. And I also did voice claims this time around. I'm doing voice claims this time around for each character. And I also can assign them each a song, which I tried to stick to Vocaloid songs at first, but then I ended up getting more ideas. And also for a later character, I couldn't think of a Vocaloid song for him. So I ended up doing something else. But for Mindy, her songs would be Planet Loop by Natuyali N. That song, you know, like Alien and stuff like that, but Planet Loop. And for a non-Vocaloid song, I think also my sister suggested this one, Life is Sweeter, from like the fourth, I think, Descendants movie. The one with like Red, Rise of Red. She would be Life is Sweeter because honestly, she's just so pink and whimsical like that.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I got it. Maybe. Hey, can you listen to me a little? Calm down, okay? Is it really not possible? Instead of bringing lunch for everyone, I brought ice cream.
The next character I designed is not alien, but a human, and she's one of Mindy's friends in this school. Her name is Lily, and she's got actually a very distinctive hairstyle, which I hope I translated right into drawing. I think I did. I liked how I drew it. I'm actually quite proud of her hairstyle. But anyways, Lore. She is the actual normal high school girl, but she's really sad and despondent. Fun fact, I came up with all their names and lore on the spot while I was playing, so this is just like more developed versions of what I came up with. Anyways, she's despondent, she's reclusive, and she's only got her guitar and the promise of, I'm just gonna make it to the end of the week, y'all. I just have to make it to the weekend. And then when Monday comes around, she repeats. Because, well, she usually keeps to herself, and, you know, the endless cycle of high school is kind of really getting to her. Especially because she was once a girl who got really good grades. She had her good grades in her guitar, and that was it. But then at some point, you know, you gotta burn out, and now she's just so disillusioned by life and everything. Like, kind of an invisible, gray, monotone nothing. And she doesn't really know what she wants to do in life. Like, not even with her, like, the one passion I gave her. But she just wants to do something as long as it's not boring. Or, you know, as long as it brings joy or something. But that's become really hard these days for her. But that's when Mindy appears. So they're kind of like contrast foils to one another, because Lily doesn't really get joy out of anything much. But Mindy is just so excited by even the most ordinary or terrible things about high school. And she's like, wow, this is what being a human is like. And meanwhile, Lily's like, this is what being a human is like. But then they bounce off of each other a little bit. And they have a little bit of like kind of best friends dynamic going. And I think it's really sweet. So her songs would be In Case You're Gonna Jump by Omoy and Lost Ones Weeping by Neru. So both Vocaloid songs this time around.
They left.
What? Why?
Oh, they just get annoyed when you talk about Muni all the time. It's no big deal. Ask questions you don't want the answer to. You doubt my skills. And there.
The last character I designed for this video, there's gonna be a lot more. But I ended off with this guy. This is Mark, and he's Mindy's brother. So when she snuck off that ship, somebody followed her. Her brother noticed she was going, and he's like, wait a damn minute, where's my sister going? So he ends up following her down at some point, and then once they finally meet up at some point, he's like, hey, you have to come back. We are not staying down here, because if they find out we're aliens, they're going to, like, I don't know, kidnap us and illegally experiment on us. And Mindy's like, first of all, what? Second of all, no, I like it here. It's so nice. And Mark doesn't want to go back without his sister, so it looks like he's staying too. Now, he's like the opposite of his sister. He looks at human, he's like, ew, they have cooties, they're gross, I don't like them. And he thinks that every human is like the ones in the TV shows or in the movies where they'll like take him and his sister to illegally experiment on and, I don't know, keep them in glass, not cages, but you know, like glass tubes or something, suspended in liquid. So that's why he went to look for her, because he was getting really worried. And he's kind of paranoid about humans. But, you know, now he's stuck here because she wants to stay. And he's like, okay, well, I gotta keep an eye on you, God. So he also used, I don't know, antenna mind control or something to make him make all the next teachers of like the brother school of Mindy. Because I think Mindy would go to I think Mindy and Lily would go to an all-girls school. So Mark would probably go to like the brother school of that all-girls school in order to like, you know, keep close, and also like, I guess to have somewhere to stay for now. So he has a human design. I drew him mostly alien form in this one, but he has the pretend it's like human skin on top of it. And because I was split on whether either he's the type of guy who doesn't bother with human disguise just because he disrespects humans that much, or he puts someone on because he doesn't want to get kidnapped to Area 51 and get illegally experimented on. So I went with the disguise this time around. So compared to his sister, she's a lot more like, she's strange, but she's like also whimsical and so joyful and also impossible to rage bait and sees joy in everything. So most people actually like her by the time he like kind of catches up and gets settled in. Meanwhile with Mark, he's also quiet and awkward, but in the way that he's just like sits and broods in the back of the classroom and looks longingly out the window like a really edgy protagonist. And if anyone tries to talk to him, he'll like give them the most awful stink eye ever. Or if anyone tries to bully him either for being new and kind of strange, he like absolutely just like bullies them back. So everyone avoids him. He's like if a nerd character didn't get the lead. So like Noah from Total Drama, maybe. And for his song, I couldn't choose a Vocaloid song, so but the first song that came to my mind was Creep by Radiohead, so I thought, yeah, okay, that can be your one song. And you know what? I think he would really like Creep by Radiohead. I think if he figured out Spotify, he'd be like, wow, this is kind of awesome. But if anyone asked him, he'd be like, psh, just a human thing. Typical humans, go! I hate you guys. But he actually really likes listening to Radiohead. And that's Mark.
So, you're still stewing over our run-ins from before. Well, what are you going to do about it? You want to learn more about me? How ridiculous. Don't you know that's only asking for trouble? Guess this is one of the few things you're good at.
That's all the OCs for this video. I had more, but I didn't want to draw them because I didn't know how they'd fit into this universe. With those three, maybe. One of them was going to be Measles, who I also made him in this other game, Roblox Childhoods, and then he died at age 19 to the child muncher, which actually made me so sad because he was my first kid in that game. But it's whatever. Maybe I can work that into his lore somehow, that he got eaten by the child muncher. Don't know how he'd be alive now, but anyways, that's all the OCs for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and play Roblox NPC Maker. It's kind of fun. Or well, not really. It gets boring after a certain point, but it's kind of fun for a while.